Step in front of a bus, you know you're going to get hit.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Oh my God!
Can you look at me in the eyes when you say that?
Yes, I tell you, you acted foolishly and irresponsibly.
Yes.
And by the way, you violated the law and you didn't give much of a damn about what happened to these people.
Your Honor.
It was irresponsible. You stuck with it.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing, entertaining, delightful, great disciple content.
Tell me where the freak's at.
Hold up. Hey.
Item number 174 on calendar, Court versus Murr. Would the parties please step forward?
August Court is a pet shop owner from Huntington Beach, California. He is suing 45-year-old homemaker Lonnie Murr for the cost of a gumball machine and lost revenue.
Plaintiff says that the defendant is negligent in tying her dog to vending machines in his business, causing damage. Your answer, basically, you say that the plaintiff acted unreasonably in trying to get you to pay. So what's this all about? What sort of business do you operate, sir?
Pet shop in Huntington Beach, California.
All right. So what sort of machines? Gumball machines?
Gumball machines. We have like two banks of gumball machines that set like right outside of the doors, behind our doors, that kind of fan out onto the sidewalk, but they're protected by the doors.
Understood. What sort of base are these gumball machines mounted on?
They're on iron bases.
So on the day in question, what do you say happened?
The day that this happened, I was out of the shop, but my manager, Sue, was there.
All right, well, let's hear from her as to what happened. Ma'am, come up, please, and if you'd state your name. Who are you?
Hi, my name is Sue Hardy.
And you, in fact, work for the plaintiff here.
Right.
What did you observe to happen on the day in question?
The defendant came into the shop and made a purchase, and she had her lab with her and her 9-year-old daughter.
I note there's an allegation in here, I'm reading this, that it was a cross between a lab and a German Shepherd.
Yeah, well, it was a big dog. It wasn't a Chihuahua.
Okay, big dog.
Otherwise, it wouldn't happen.
A large dog.
Yeah. And so anyway, she made a purchase and she left the store, said she was going to Calico Corners next door. And next thing I know, her dog is dragging the bubblegum machine across the parking lot. All three of the machines had candy everywhere, and the dog is scared to death, and it's wrapped around a pickup truck wheel, screaming. And her daughter is hysterical, and she runs out of the Calico Corner. Somebody had to go get her. Matter of fact, I think I did, yeah. Anyway, she came back and she started telling her daughter, why didn't you watch him? I told you to watch that, you know. That dog could have pulled her down the street, the little girl. So anyway, she came back into the shop after it was all over, and I asked her for her name and everything like that. And she gave me all the information and said, just get a hold of her.
So, okay, how did the dog manage to pull the gumball machines across the parking lot?
Because they're not attached.
If he's pulling them, how does he pull them? Is there something connecting
He's on
him?
a leash.
He's on a leash.
Yeah.
Was the leash connected to the gumball
Yes.
machine?
Yes, it was.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff claims the defendant's dog may have been tied to a gumball machine, but it didn't stop him from bolting through a parking lot. He wants lost revenue for the machine. Let's listen in.
Now, what did these gumball machines cost to replace?
Approximately $300.
$300. Did you lose any income while awaiting replacements?
Yes, lost
How much?
income. Each machine generates about $50 per week, and there's 3 machines on a bank. It's
And
about
how long did it take you to replace them?
Well, we ordered them, and we still haven't received them because they're back ordered. Because
How many
the company,
weeks have you been without the income from the gumball?
Since August the 6th. Also, I'd like to point out there's signs, I have some things here, signs in the shopping center specifically stating Huntington Beach code that you're not allowed to tie any animals in any section of the shopping center whatsoever. And I have a photograph of the sign and also the damage to the gumball machines.
Up.
And receipt for the gumball machines that I had purchased from, and here's the courtesy code of the shopping center thing.
Okay, they're damaged.
Yeah.
beyond.
And I also have the catalog from the gumball machine company.
Excuse me, Your Honor, those pictures were taken after he dismantled the machines.
No, when they were drugged through the parking lot.
Excuse me,
the
there was
glass
no candy
broken,
spilled. There was nothing.
The candy was all over.
No,
the money
it wasn't.
was all over.
He wasn't there. There was no candy
The
anywhere.
machine was damaged, Your Honor.
Machine was cracked. One machine was cracked, and the stand was bent.
You're out of your mind. You didn't even look at the machine.
Stop that.
Stop
that. All right.
We didn't report it to the
Excuse me.
police.
Violating a public ordinance, rule, regulation, or law is per se negligence. Now, you want to get irate about everything and talk about they faked this. Take a look at that. Okay.
I'm not saying they faked that.
And no candy and everything in there. You tell me how in the world you get the nerve to affix a large dog to those items in somebody's business while you go shop next door.
Well, that's not exactly how it happened, first of all.
Well, how did you fasten the dogs to that?
Well, I fastened the dog to it.
How did you get the nerve to do that, lady?
Because my daughter was going to watch him. I was just
Well, how
dropping
did you
something
get the
off.
nerve to just come in and say this man's got gumball machines that his business does, so I want to go in here, I'm going to tie my dog to the gumball machines, looking at the dog and looking at the gumball machines. Any reasonable person should have anticipated the possibility, probability, that tying the dog to the gumball machines could be the approximate cause of their damage or destruction. Any reasonable person. I think you really didn't care, and you'd say, I want to shop. I decide
And you look at me in the eyes when you say that?
Yes, I tell you, you acted foolishly and irresponsibly.
Yes.
And by the way, you violated the law and you didn't give much of a damn about what happened to these people.
Your Honor.
It was irresponsible. You stuck with it. There's loss of income for what amounts to 7 weeks with 3 days remaining. Let's say 8 weeks at $50, $400, plus $300 to deal with this. And since you were so unrepentant about the whole thing and acknowledging your fault, negligence, and irresponsibility of chaining your dogs to this man's business property because you wanted to go next door and left your young daughter there, the court's going to stack on another $500 in terms of your expenses. In fact, another $1,000 because you don't have any firm delivery date.
My goodness.
Yes.
That is
$700 for 15. That's $2,200. Yeah, apologize to yourself for being so rude and crude and unconsiderate of other people and their property.
See, I didn't have no day in court.
And the defendant in this case seemed pretty insulted at being questioned about why she decided to tie her dog to a gumball machine while she was running a quick errand. The answer from the judge, quite clear. She was in the wrong. Judgment for the plaintiff. We'll find out what litigants have to say after this.
Judge Joe Brown.
Why bring your dog shopping anyway? If you know you're going to have to run errands, you know you're going to have to go in.
Errands, and part of it, he was in the car with us. That's why.
All I asked for was a receipt that he paid $300 for the machine. He never produced the receipt.
And you took the receipt and your check and left like some mad woman.
See, I still can't even get my word out. I never got
you should have just taken care of your responsibility when you had the time.
I hired Lisa as my babysitter, and she has acted completely irresponsible.
Why did you hire her to begin with?
I hired her because I needed someone to take care of my young children while I taught summer school. I'm an athletic coach.
Okay.
And I met her.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
And with their ages?
5 and 7.
Boys or girls?
2 boys.
5 and 7. Oh, that's 2 boys. They can be pretty rambunctious.
Yeah.
I got 2 boys. I know that. Mrs. Sanford, what made you decide to take the gig?
Well, she offered me full-time because I'm a student also, freshman in college. She offered me full-time.
What are you studying in school?
Psychology.
All right. How you doing so far grades-wise?
Pretty good. Average is 3.0.
All right.
So,
not bad. All right. So psychology, so I take it that you could have some good experience supervising 2 rambunctious boys, huh?
Yes.
All right. And
well,
were the boys well behaved or?
Rambunctious? No.
They were good boys.
They don't really go outside much. They just stay in the house. They play their video games all day, which they said
No
their
fighting
mother...
with each other, no hollering,
No,
he hit me,
it's
none of
kind
that?
of weird. She's a gym teacher, but she doesn't allow them to go outside.
I don't
because
allow you to take them outside. Let's be very
She
clear,
has
Your
a
Honor.
very
Wait a
nice
minute.
backyard that she doesn't...
Stop. I'll let you talk. Hold on a moment. We talked about this whole issue of them going outside. What was your policy about whether or not they could be outside of the home? I take it specifically when you're not there.
Yes, when I'm not there, my house is on a very busy street.
Oh, I see.
It's a little bit dangerous and,
But she has a very nice
backyard.
backyard.
I understand. I'm going to let you talk.
My kids do like to play video games, so I decided
Which
to
is
split up.
all they do.
Stop.
According
Are
to
you allergic to the word stop talking?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Well, I let them play the video games while I'm at work so that when I get home, we can do more athletic type activities.
Okay, because if you're an athletic teacher, obviously,
Yes.
you understand the importance of...
No, Your Honor,
Absolutely. You know what? I'm so glad that I
Here's
never...
what we've got going on right now.
I'm so glad I never trusted her with
Stop-
my children
stop for a moment.
outside.
When you come to a courtroom and a court says don't talk and you talk anyway, that's disrespectful. Do you think that helps you or does that
sorry,
hurt
Your
you?
Honor.
Does it help you or hurt you?
Hurt me.
Don't do it again.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, so you were talking about this areas are busy. When you get home, you would do the athletic activities with the boys.
Correct.
You wanted them to stay in. And so what was the plan in terms of with Miss Sanford watching them?
Okay. Well, they're very young, so they do need to be constantly supervised.
Of course.
She's been very irresponsible, and I did not realize
Give me an
this at
example of how
first.
she's been irresponsible other than interrupting when I tell her not to talk.
Well, she has been stealing my liquor.
Can you prove
drinking-
that?
Yeah, well,
Stealing liquor.
I don't drink very often. I know it wasn't
Because
my
that's a
kids.
pretty bold assertion to make that someone is a thief in your home.
Absolutely.
So what makes you say that she was stealing your liquor?
Well, I have a liquor cabinet, and I hardly ever go in there. I don't really drink. I had some friends over. This was kind of towards the end of her working for me, and I noticed that a lot of liquor was missing out of the bottles. For example, I had one bottle of vanilla vodka, and I had tried it once. The bottle was nearly completely empty.
All right.
So I don't know if she's drinking on the job, having
So
her
you've never
boys
seen
over,
her.
and having a party.
You've never seen her drink, but you're deducing that because no one else is in the home other than her,
And
you're seeing the alcohol missing. Ergo, she has to be drinking. Put your hand down.
There is one more thing.
Okay.
My boys always told me that she had a special drink during the day.
Which was coffee.
I assumed
Sit down.
it was coffee.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit in the chair and square yourself. Go ahead.
I assumed it was coffee, and she does bring a thermos in. It smells like coffee. She's drinking it. Looks like coffee. But I don't know if she's using that thermos to take liquor home or if she's having drinks.
All right. Well, what does it have to do with why we're here, though? Because you're not. Are you saying that somehow she was under the influence of alcohol while she's looking after your children?
Correct. I mean, that's just part of the story.
All right. How did that manifest itself? That she's under the influence while she's looking after your children?
Well, I never smelled anything on her when I got home, to be honest with you. But there are other things that she's done as well. My boys would tell me that she has different men over to the house,
Okay.
that she takes them up to my bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
and God knows what's going on up there.
All
She's
right.
even posted on her website about this, on her social network site, that she's taking men into my house, and she's bragging about it.
You have any proof of that?
I do.
Let me see. You're not getting off to a good start here. You're getting ready to lose this case before I even hear from you. I'm going to let you come up one more time. If I have to say what I have to say to you again, you're going to lose. Are we clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Lisa Sanford, I can't wait for my boo to pick me up from babysitting. Okay, how is that proof that she had men in your house?
Right. Well, my sons are telling me that he's not the only one that comes over.
Stop. This doesn't prove to me that she has men inside the home. Is she saying, I can't wait to be picked up?
Right, but I believe my children. They wouldn't lie about
But what I'm
something
saying
like
is
that.
when you say to me, here's proof, in other words, if there was a picture of her and the guy in your bed, well, then that would be an example of she's bringing guys over. Her saying, I can't wait to be picked up, there's nothing unusual about that. Ms. Sanford, let me ask you, did you have men inside the home?
I brung my boyfriend over one time because Miss Sanford,
Talk to me.
Because she is sometimes late. Most of the time
Define late. Like what time was she supposed to come home?
3 o'clock. I worked for her from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Is that correct, Ms. Marcus?
That's correct. We agreed to that in
Were
the
you
beginning.
ever late coming home?
Yes, I have been.
How many times were you late?
Often.
I'm talking to her.
To varying degrees, more often than I knew that I would have to be.
Okay, so that's a lot. All right. Was your transportation your boyfriend?
Yes.
All right.
And he picked me up every day, which is supposed to be at 3 o'clock.
And how late would you just be? 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 3 hours? What?
Most days was an hour.
Is that true?
The latest was 8
No,
p.m.
that's
and
not
I have
true.
to go to school.
Stop.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Has it been as late as an hour?
It has been on occasion, but
Okay.
typically it's 10
Did you
minutes, 20
compensate
minutes.
her for that?
No.
No, I didn't. It was
Why not?
It was not in our
Because
original
she's cheap.
agreement.
Stop.
I also told
You know
her.
what? You were doing so well. Less is more. Slow your roll. Why were you not compensating her if you were late often?
I told her originally I didn't know I was going to have to work after
Okay,
school.
but once you started seeing that there was a pattern,
Yes.
what did you do to compensate her for her time?
I told her that I could not afford to pay her more than $300 a week.
So you're basically having someone working overtime for you and you're not compensating them, yes?
Yes, but I
Okay.
did offer to
I only
hire
say
someone
that
else.
to say you called the woman a thief,
Correct.
and that's very disparaging. And put your hand down. You're messing up your case. Why are you not hearing that? Don't you hear the tone of my voice?
I'm sorry.
Are you hearing the tone of my voice? Can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Help me help you.
Okay.
So you had this woman 5 hours over the time and you didn't compensate her at all?
I didn't.
Okay. You don't see a problem with that?
I told her, sir, that we could work out something where someone else could help split her shifts up, or
Okay, well,
if
did
it
you do
wasn't,
that? Did you work something out that someone
no,
else?
because she wasn't complaining that much about it. So I thought we were okay.
Okay, and did you know that the boyfriend was picking her up?
My sons told me that someone was picking her up every day.
So you knew she didn't have her own transportation?
Correct.
So did
There's
you
a bus stop, though, close by.
Wow. Both of you are a trip. Okay. If you knew she didn't have her own transportation and you knew you were running late, did you just expect the boyfriend to just sit in the car for hours until you got home?
Well, she could have called him when I got there.
That is so inconsiderate.
You know what?
Stop. Absorb that. Just absorb that for a moment. That's very inconsiderate. You're having this woman take care of your children. She's doing you a favor. You're doing her a favor. There has to be some sort of mutual respect and deference. So, why are you suing her for this amount?
She's negligent. I think that she's not supervising my children as much as they need. They're too young to be left alone while she does whatever she's doing in my house. Okay?
Well, what else would she be doing? The boyfriend comes in because you're late. You're saying that she may have consumed some alcohol inside the house.
Which never happened.
There.
That was the last time, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
That's not your call to make. Because I said, don't do it again, right? And because you keep interrupting me, that means I can't get the information that I need. And you're directly attributable to that. So based on the evidence and testimony before this court, without even hearing any more, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of $750. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $750.